Hey guys, my name is Nikki and I want to welcome you here to Carry Grace. Alright, so I have recently gone through the Flylady's 31 baby steps. If you're not familiar with the Flylady, it is a cleaning system. It helps you set up routines and just kind of organize the way you clean your home. Having completed the 31 baby steps, I feel like at this point a planner is a really good tool to help anyone using this system stay on track. When you're building new habits and new routines, it's really helpful to have a place to write things down to help you stay organized so that you know what you have already done and what you need to do next. My plan is to, in time, share with you how you can use different types of planners to help you stay organized while you're going through this journey. The planner that I'm going to be sharing with you today is a book style planner. This is bound like a book or a journal. This particular planner is from the Clever Fox, and so this video is in collaboration with them. They sent me this planner several weeks ago and I've been trying it out and it is so good, so I really wanted to share it with you. When I was looking through their website, they have a lot of different planners to choose from. They have a budget planner, they have a weekly planner, they have a daily planner, they have notebooks, they have a lot of different things to choose from. I was the most interested in the daily planner, which is what I'm going to share with you today. I felt like it was set up the best for continuing to work on habits and routines while going through the Flylady system. When I first started my journey with the Flylady system, I started with the 31 baby steps. Now during that process, we started setting up a control journal. Now a control journal is typically a separate journal of some kind that you keep separate from a planner. But as somebody that really likes planners and uses planners, I know that a lot of people like to have the option of having all of those things in their planner. And like I said, when I saw this planner, I felt like it was a really good setup that would work really well for that. A couple of things to note: I am a super functional planner. I like to use pens. I like to use highlighters. I like to keep things super functional, super simple, because if it's easy and simple, I'm a lot more likely to stick with it. The particular planner that I'm going to be sharing with you is the daily version, and this version is a 6-month planner. Now, some people like a full year, but because this is a daily planner and there is a page for every single day, it would have been way too thick for them to include an entire year. I like the way this is broken up because, again, I think that when you're creating new habits and new routines, I feel like the first several months that you're doing it, you're kind of learning about yourself, you're doing a lot of trial and error, and then after 6 months, you're probably going to have a better idea of what it is that you really like, what you really need, and so at that point, you can continue on and get another one of these, or you can move to something else if you feel like something else is better suited for you, but you're not locked into something for an entire year. And for that reason, I really like this setup. For those of you that are planner people, this is, like I said, more of like a journal bound style. When you open it, it lays completely flat. I am left-handed and don't normally gravitate towards this style, but like I said, it lays open flat. It's not, it doesn't do that weird thing in the middle. It's nice and flat. As a lefty, I found it very easy to write in. I didn't have any trouble. The paper quality is wonderful. I was able to use my pens that I like, nothing smeared. The quality of this was outstanding. I was super impressed. Make sure that you check my description box below. I will have links to where you can find this planner. It comes in a lot of different colors. It comes in different styles, so you definitely want to check it out. Also, stay tuned because at the very end of this video, I'm going to tell you how you can win your very own Clever Fox planner. I am going to be doing a giveaway and one of you will win one of these, so stay tuned. When you open this planner, there's kind of a title page. There is a place for you to write your name, phone number, email address, so that if you were to lose this, somebody can contact you. As you continue to go through the planner, there are sections like you see right here. There's a place to list out things that you're grateful for. There's a place to write about things that you're passionate about. There is a place to write daily rituals and a place to write affirmations. Now, the part where it says I am grateful for, I use this to just write something that I was grateful for. And then on the bottom section where it says I am passionate about, I wrote things like my family, my home, my church family, things like this. I feel like this is a great thing to list in the front of a planner because it's a place for you to write down some reminders so that when you're maybe having a rough day, this will be inspiration to help you remember why you do what you do. On the daily rituals page, I thought this was great. It says skills to learn and habits to adopt this year. This was the perfect amount of space for me to write in my morning routine and my evening routine. So I can reference this throughout the day or throughout the week, or anytime I want to look at this, I have my morning routine and my evening routine written out. The next thing is my affirmations. I wrote down a Bible verse that I like to reference often, so I just have that right there. All right, so the next thing you're going to see is a place for your vision board. Now this kind of stumped me a little bit. I really had to put a little bit of thought in here, but I decided that this was a great place to add a lot of color and just a place to help me feel inspired. So I just drew a picture of a really happy looking house and I wrote down some things that meant something to me. I want a peaceful, uncluttered home. I want our house to be a welcoming place for all that enter, and I will not be a slave to our house. I just wrote, like I said, a few things that kind of mean something to me, and I felt like the vision board was a great place to write that in. All right, so the next thing you're going to see are pages for my goals. I didn't take the time to really sit down and think about this all at once, but it's a great place if you've got some specific goals that you're really working on. I really like that there is a place that you can write this stuff down so that you can reference it anytime you want to. The next pages you're going to see are a place for my focus and my mind map. I chose this to map out my house to use for zone cleaning. I felt like it was the perfect place to do this. So as you can see on the right side, that was a grid dot page. I just kind of mapped out our home. And then on the left side, it says goal 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Since there are 5 zones for the Flylady system, I thought this was a great place to write those out. So I have everything color coordinated, and again, I used highlighters and pens to do this. I didn't do anything super fancy, but I do like things to be color coordinated sometimes because it just kind of helps me visually. This page, like I said, the way it was broken down, I felt like it was just a really good place to list out the zones so that I have a nice visual of what this is going to look like. The next thing in this planner is the monthly spread. This planner is undated, so you're going to write your own dates in. That means you can start this planner anytime that you want to, which I think is great because for me, starting this in October, it was nice to be able to just start it in October and that'd be totally fine. So what I chose to do with this is I laid out my zones. I wrote in where zone 1 starts and then all the way through zone 5. Again, I used highlighters. I color coordinated them with the colors that I used on the previous page. As you can see, I still have plenty of room to write in appointments, birthdays, things like that. I really like that on the left-hand side, it says plan, and then there's a place to write a habit that you want to adopt, a skill you want to learn, things to avoid, places to go, people to see. I thought it was really cool that they had that just right there at a glance. At the very bottom, there is a this month's goals section. This is a great place to just write things that you want to focus on for the month. Again, I use little highlighters because I like to be able to make check mark boxes. So it'll be super easy for me to check these off. The other thing that you see on the monthly spread is a place to write this month's wins and how I'll improve next month. So at the end of the month, I can look back through my planner and I can really think about what went well and how I need to improve, and then I can write all of those things down, and that will help me moving forward to the next month. There is a page for each individual day, but what I really liked is that there is a page at the beginning of each week for your week. There's a place to write down your main goals for the week. There's a place to write priorities. There is a work to-do list, a personal to-do list. There's a really nice habit tracker for you to keep track of habits. I like that it already has the Monday through Sunday filled in and you can just check the little circles. I really, really like that. And then down at the bottom, there is a life balance to-do list. I thought this was really nice because it really helps you think about other things other than just tasks. And I feel like this really goes along with the Flylady system, because the Flylady system is not just about cleaning, it's really about setting up routines for your home, but also for yourself so that you're taking care of you. And I feel like this is a really good way to kind of tie into that and look at it each and every week. So there's a place to write something for health and sports, something for family and friends. There's a place for romance and relationships. That's a great place to plan out a date night. There's a place for fun and recreation. That's a great place to write down what you're going to do for your family fun day. There's a place to write any kind of personal development that you would like to do. And then also spiritual, I chose to write in a verse. So that's just kind of a verse that I've been going through for the week. So I like to write that right there. All right, so in the top left-hand corner, there is a place that says today's main goal. I felt like that was a great place to write my basic weekly plan for the day. So on Mondays, as you can see right there, I have weekly home blessing. And then it says today's priorities there on the right. So those are going to be my top 3 things that I really want to focus on for the day. So this particular day, I had weekly home blessing. I had some emails and comments that I needed to take care of. I really like that there is a schedule for the day. This is a place where it's really easy for me to look at the day as a whole and then to just kind of take my highlighters and block things off. This helps me visually because then I can see where I have little pockets of time to get things in. I can plan when I'm going to do my morning routine. I can plan when I'm going to do my weekly home blessing. I can plan when I'm going to do my decluttering or zone clean. I can also write in my schedule. For me, I'm a homeschool mom, so I have things blocked off for school. I have things blocked off for kids' activities in the evening. All the things that I know have to happen, I like to write those in first, and then I kind of fill in all of the other things when there's little spots. The other thing that I like to do is, like, about whatever time we're most likely going to eat dinner, I like to go ahead and just write down what it is that we are having for dinner that evening. The next thing you're going to see on the daily page is a to-do list. You can see that I am again using highlighters to make little check mark boxes. I just like the color that it adds. You don't have to do it that way. I just like that it makes it look a little more fun and vibrant, but you do it however you want to do it. I like to look back at the work to-do list or the personal to-do list that I made at the beginning of the week, and I like to just kind of fill in the things that I want to do for that day or any other thing that pops up that I need to take care of. And then at the very bottom of the page, it says rate your productivity, and you can do that from 1 to 10. I thought this was neat because, like I said, when you're starting the Flylady system, you're learning new routines, you're creating new habits, and this is a place for you to just kind of reflect and think about, hey, I did this really well, or maybe I need to work on this, and then you can track your productivity. Some days are going to be more productive than others, and that is totally okay. All right, so the way I'm using the weekly pages is where it says this week's main goal. I thought that was a great place to write the zone that we are in. So you can see I wrote zone 1, and then I listed what that zone is. Next to that, I had this week's priorities. For me, that's going to be other things that I need to accomplish throughout the week that don't necessarily have to do with my home. All right, so on the work to-do list, you can see I used highlighters to make little check boxes again, and on one side I listed things that I want to do for zone cleaning, so those are going to be home related, and then the things on the right side, that's where I'm going to write my actual work to do. So I felt like I was able to split that up nicely and really make it work for me. So you can use this however you want to. I just thought it would be fun to show you that you really can get everything all in this one planner. You've got places for things for your home as well as things for your personal life. All right, so on to the personal to-do list. This is really just personal things that I need to do. Sometimes I write errands. Sometimes I write little things that I need to do throughout the week that don't necessarily have to be done on a specific day. I like to write them there. That way, as I'm looking at this for the day, I can check this, and anything that I see there that I've got a time slot I can plug that into, I can just pick that up and write it on my daily list so that that gets taken care of. The next thing is the habit and skills tracker. There are 7 lines here. So depending on how long your morning routine, if you have an afternoon routine, your evening routine, depending on how many things you have in those, you may not be able to fit all of the little individual things on your list, but that's okay. For me, I just wrote morning routine, I wrote zone, and then I put 15 minutes of me time. I wrote evening routine and then my closeout. So basically for me, I have my morning routine and my evening routine. Most of these, I kind of have them memorized now. Like I know what I need to do for my morning routine. I know what I need to do for my evening routine. But as you can see, there's a few things that I kind of want to focus on. These are things that I am still kind of working to really make a habit. That's why I have them listed out separate. So you can use this however you want to, but that's just an example of how I thought it would work really well. So as you can see, I'm just going to kind of flip through the pages so you can see what this looked like every day. I continued to use highlighters to add a little color. There was not really a lot of rhyme or reason on the daily pages for the highlighters. It was just kind of what I picked up, what I grabbed that day, and I tried to use a couple different highlighters just to make the page a little more fun to look at. This planner was so nice though. I felt like there really was a place to write everything day. It really is helping me stay on track. And so if this is the style of planner that you like, I definitely recommend this particular planner. One thing you may have noticed about this planner is that it does not have tabs. That's okay though, because it does have 3 ribbons. So you can use the ribbons as bookmarks. You can use it to mark your day. You can use it to mark either your week or your month, however you choose to mark it. Once you have gone through your 7 days, there are 2 pages at the end of the week to kind of recap your week. There is a weekly notes page. It's just a dot grid page. It's blank. You can use this for anything you want to. You can use it for notes. For me, it became a great place to jot groceries down because, you know, sometimes you're in the kitchen and you realize you're about to run out of something. And I like to have a place to jot that down. And for me, this was a great place to do that. Then on the right side, you can see that there is a weekly review. Again, I think there was so much thought put into this, and that's why I like this planner for starting out something new. So while the planner is a great place to check things off, it also gives you a place to really reflect and think about things, which I think is a really good thing, especially when you are adding new routines to your life and trying to create new habits. All right, so now that you have seen the basic setup of the planner, I want to show you how I use the back pages to create somewhat of a control journal. So there are a ton of pages in the very back. They all are blank, obviously, and then you can use them for whatever you want to. I'll also go ahead and show you right here in the back. There is a nice little folder. I thought this would be a great place to keep up with receipts or invitations or really just anything. You can see that it opens up nicely and it's really easy to just tuck whatever you need in there. Because these pages are not being written on daily, I did take extra time to make these pretty. I used my highlighters to make headings. I used kind of different fonts, things like that to make them pretty so that as I reference these pages, they're just pleasing to the eye. You don't have to do it this way. You can just chicken scratch or scribble your stuff on there so that you have it. But this is something that I enjoy, so I'm going to show you how I set it up. All right, so the first thing I chose to add are my routines. I took the time to write out my morning routine and my evening routine. The next thing I chose to add is a page for inspiration. I wrote some Bible verses that I like. I wrote some Flylady quotes. You can use this to write anything that you want. And again, you can make this your own. You do not have to set this up the way I did it. I just wanted to show you how I did it. The next thing I added are the Flylady's 11 commandments. I did take the time to write these out because I feel like they're important. They are something that I do like to look back on, so I felt like this was a great place to include these. All right, so the next thing I chose to write down is the basic weekly plan. I went ahead and divided my days up and wrote down what I'm going to choose to focus on for those days. Looking at this now, I realized that I didn't write down my weekly home blessing, but this is a great section to write out your weekly home blessing. That way you can reference it if you need to make yourself a list for the day. The next thing I chose to add is a place for my go-to meals. I broke it up in sections. I've got chicken, seafood, beef, and pork. I didn't make a real extensive list in here. You definitely could, but I chose to just kind of write down some of our favorites. That way, if I need to make a grocery list really quick, I can just reference this and get some ideas. The next thing I added is all of mine zone cleaning. Now, I did just write this straight from the Flylady's website. I'm just starting to zone clean, so I'm going to start with her list. I'm sure that I'm going to tweak this some, but again, because I'm just starting, I felt like it was important to just write this down the way she had it, and then as I continue to go through the system, if I want to make tweaks, I can. So I did use my color-coded highlighters for the headings for this, but I just wrote down all of the tasks, and what I can do is there's not places to check this off in here, but when I am making my weekly list or my daily list, I can just look at this and figure out, hey, I'm gonna do this, this, and this, and then I can write that in there, and then I can check it off over there. There are still plenty of pages in the back, so there's still plenty of things that you can add to this for you personally. A couple of other things that I wanted to mention and share with you about this planner is that it does come in this beautiful box. I am a sucker for pretty packaging. I really like this. It comes with several pages of icon stickers that you can use. These are great for adding into your calendar to just kind of give you a quick visual reminder. And there's also a card in here that shares with you just different ways that you can use the planner. There's different examples. And I thought it was really neat that they included that. The other thing that I really like about this planner is the pen loop. This pen loop is really good. You can see I've got a pen that's pretty fat. It's kind of a little bit rubbery, and it still slides in here very nicely. It comes out very nicely. I also really like this elastic closure. It just works really nice, and it just keeps everything together. All right, again, I want to thank the Clever Fox Planner for sending this to me to try out. I hope that you guys got some inspiration from this. If you think that this is a planner that would suit you well, definitely check out my links down below so that you can purchase one for yourself. All right, so let's talk about the giveaway. The giveaway is going to be held on my Instagram account. I will leave a link below so that you can find my Instagram account, and all of the details for that will be listed in the Instagram post. So head to my Instagram page and check that out. It'll be super easy. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you, Clever Fox, for sending this beautiful planner to me. I really like it. I am still very impressed with the quality. It's beautiful, it's simple, and it's very functional. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not already subscribed, please consider subscribing, and I will see you guys soon.